Boxing fans, this is going to be a weekend to remember. There's major fights all weekend long, and I know you are not going to want to miss a single second. And while you're watching, don't forget to get in on all the action with my partners, DraftKings Sportsbook. DraftKings is offering all new customers $200 in bonus bets instantly after betting just $5. So don't wait. Sign up right now. All you got to do is download the DraftKings app. When you sign up, use my promo code Sonnen. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Stay in on the action and use your $200 in same-game parlays for a chance at an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same fight. Love the thrill of live betting? DraftKings has got you covered. Bet live on in-progress fights as they happen, making watching the game that much more exciting. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Pick 6, giving you a shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. New customers use my promo code Sonnen. Bet just $5 and you will get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code Sonnen only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Hey Siri, call Bo Nickal.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
All right, that was Bo Nickal. So, in my attempt to show you how cool I am and that I can connect with people, I have apparently failed to connect. But guys, there's legs to this Bo Weighs 222 business. I had to cover this on ESPN today. Adam Felters, who has a grand total of 0 wrong takes. I have never caught Felters being wrong. Thinks it could be true. He's not sold on it, but he says, Chael, I don't think this is the troll job that you think. And I just said, well, Adam, from my perspective, there was an edit. From my perspective, when I watch it, there's Bo going to a scale and there's a cut, a real quick cut. And the cut shows you the number on the scale, but it never shows you Bo and the number in the same shot. And if it were real, there would be no edit, there would be no cut. Not to mention, it is filmed with a very uncommercial camera, which I predict to be an iPhone. And you guys film things with your iPhones. When have you ever put it through an edit? There'd be no reason to. Now, the cut is done so well, I'm not 100% sure it exists. There is room, ever so slight. See, I feel like I'm being pulled into something. I feel like what a troll job, and it's an obvious troll job. But, and there is a but. You know, there's something called a water load. This wasn't a thing when I was wrestling. Oh my goodness, the way we cut weight back then, oh my gosh. If I just knew what I knew now and could go back and tell my teammates how to get 10 pounds off, I would have made their lives so much better. But there's something called a water load where you will lose water. You will dehydrate by drinking water. Now you have to get to an excessive amount, as much as 3.5 gallons in one day. Very difficult to do, but it's a build. You'll start with 1 gallon a day for a few weeks, and then you'll go to 2 gallons, 4 or 5 days. You only have one day where you have to do 3.5. But I'm only sharing with you, when you put so much water in, your body will just give it up, right? Whether you urinate it out or you just sweat it out, your body thinks it's going to keep getting flooded with water, and it's got to make room. So it just starts giving up this water. Then when you stop drinking the water, I mean, you'll just drop like a stone. And I only share with you, 1 gallon, just so you understand, is 8 pounds. The milk jug, it's 8 pounds. So if you are in the process of water loading, how much of that is still with you? How much is that? And that could be a real amount. That could be 5 pounds. Very, very easily 5 pounds. You then have the fact that Bo did not strip. And what does add to the credibility of the video, aside from Bo's reaction, which is exactly the reaction a person would have. Maybe it turns out Bo's a great performer. But one thing that does add to it is he didn't strip. He knew it was heavy, wanted to get a feel. There's a scale. Let's get a look at it. I'm not too married to it because I know that I'm water loading. It's kind of a fake weight anyway. I got a couple pounds of clothes on. Let's just get in and get a little bit of an idea. Well, all of a sudden, you know, you got sweats and the jacket. Let's say 3 pounds of clothes. That's a little heavy. Let's just say 3 pounds. Let's say 5 pounds of a water load. And yeah, I'm rounding up a little bit. But all of a sudden, you've got an 8-pound swing. And all of a sudden, the guy that's 222 is 213. Now, that is massive on fight week. Massive. And I don't believe it. However, right, like, there's a tipping point. Why 222? I mean, Bo went so heavy that he made it unbelievable. If he's really going to all this work to dupe us, why not 210? That would have blown your mind. He's got to lose 25 pounds in 3 days. That would have blown your mind. Why 222? And I'm only sharing, like, this thing is gaining some steam to somewhere some people do believe it. And as silly as it might be, it is believed by enough people that I'm reaching out to Bo. I'm going to ask him, hey, man, this is not accurate information, correct? And another thing, if you weigh 222, how'd you get there? I got asked that by a coach one time. It was on summer break. And Coach Chuck Kearney was on the phone. And I said, and I was always small for 197. I'd weigh about 188, 189. Perkins made me drink a bunch of water and get to 191 one time. I felt sick. I was way underweight. And I always thought it'd be an advantage, you know, if I could get big enough, be all muscle, or maybe even cut down a little bit, like my rest, I'd feel better. So I told Chuck, I said, hey, when you see me, I'm going to weigh about 225. And I thought he'd be fired. Oh, wow, God, you've been working hard this summer. Wow. And it wasn't like that. I remember not only what he said, I remember the tone in which he said it. And he simply said the word how. But I said, when you see me, I'm going to weigh 225. And he goes, how? And I did not have an answer. I just am. I just lifted a lot. And you got to understand, I weighed about 190 when I told him this, and I was going to see him in about 2 weeks. But at that point, I was so naive, I thought I could gain 35 pounds of muscle in 2 weeks if I really buckled down and ate enough egg yolks. Like, there's these times in your life where you look back and go, I was a fool. 222 pounds on Bo. I can not quite relate to that, but that exact number puts him at 36 pounds overweight. I didn't have to do the math. And you want to know why I didn't have to do the math? Because I know the math. And you want to know why I know the math? Because I got a call to do a fight in 21 days, which meant 20 days till the weigh-in. And it was opposite Dan Miller, MGM Grand, and we were going to get a spot on TV. Open up the main card. Big opportunity for me. So I say yes, and the very first thing I do, I'm driving, the very first thing I do, I go straight to the gym, I strip down, I get on the scale, and it was 222 pounds. I had to lose 36. In fact, if you want to know the exact number, it's 22.2. I was 36.2 pounds over. And it was the most difficult, physically trying thing of my life. And I had 20 days. I had 20 days, and it was the most physically trying event of my life. It still is to this day. I never had anything that topped it. I had 20 days. I told that story somewhere. That story got out. Dana White gave me $10,000 for making weight because he heard what I went through. Brought me a check for $10,000 because he had read an article that Kevin Iole had posted that Chael has to lose 36.2 pounds to fill in on 20 days' notice against Miller and gets a main card spot. And as grateful as I was for that money, I must tell you, to look a gift horse in the mouth, I wish he would have told me. I wish you would have told me ahead of time, if you make weight, I'm going to give you that would have been the incentive a guy needed. My only thing to look forward to was getting locked in a cage with the IFL champion, at any rate. I digress, but 36 pounds on Bo Nickal in 3 days, I don't believe is realistic. But Adam Felters and ESPN think it is possible.